block is the Churn block, which is this one, and that's my colours, and we're doing the large. I've already done the small and the medium. So, well, that's what you call a Churn. This is the pattern, and it's from, you might not be able to see this, but I'm going to be telling you anyway. It's from the Generations Quilt Patterns. If you put in your browser Generations Quilt Churn block, it'll automatically take you to this. And obviously there's a lot more to it, and you'll have to scroll down. But that's basically what we're going to be making there. What I did was, because I wanted to cut all three sizes out at the same time, and I'm doing a 4.5, 6 and 7.5 size, I made sure that I was going to do that. And then this side it says light, dark, light, dark, light. But if you're changing your colours and you want, then you put what colour you need in next to the light, dark, and then you won't get it wrong on when you look across. What I did was I did background and colour. I did background, one medium and one dark. So I did 3 colours on this, but you can do as many as you want. I'll put one of the sizes here, one of the sizes there, and one of the sizes there, and that way then I could just go straight down to what I'd written out, and I double checked it obviously when going across. Obviously then I put one colour, put references in that you know what you're doing, what sizes you're doing. I ticked my sizes so I knew I'd copied it down. Organise yourself all the way through this quilt, and then you shouldn't go wrong. Any questions, please ask. So this is from Generations Quilt, and put in Churn and then it should bring you the pattern, but you don't really need it because, well, you do actually, because I'm only going to show you one size, which is the larger one on this one, which is the 7.5 inch, and then it's obviously 3 3/8 times 3 3/8, 3 3/8 times 3 3/8, 1 3/4 times 13 inches, 1 3/4 times 13 inches, 3 by 3, and the unfinished block size should be about 8 inches, but we're going to be putting extra things around, so if it ends up at 8 1/4 or just slightly under, don't worry, but it should end up, because they're really generous, these ones, so it should be okay, and they're old tried and tested ones. Churn it's an old block. So basically, yes, so for this one I've just written, if you pull this off you'll get your cutting chart for a Churn quilt block, traditional piecing, and that's that one there. So that's what you need for the first one. I am doing 4.5, 6 and 7, but obviously they do another 2 sizes as well. So once you've cut out for all your sizes, gather everything together. I will start, once I've cut off enough fabric, let's just turn you around so I can see you. Once, get a bit further away, it's really bright and sunny today. Once you've cut off enough fabric for all 3, because you don't want to keep going back to the same thing all the time and cutting, just do all 3 at the same time. Once I got my little bits of fabric cut off the bolt, or cut off the fat quarters, whatever you're using, cut off your length, then go to your ironing board with it all before you start cutting and starch it. That makes it a lot easier because they're very small. Sometimes the really small ones are really small, so it makes it easier to handle because they've been starched. Then cut all these bits out once you've starched it all. Right, we'll show you how to do the block. First thing we need to do is, you need these 2, not these bits. They're your strips, that's your centre, and these are going to be the outsides. What you need to do is put a line out across the light ones from corner to corner, Then we need to sew either side, put them right side together. You do this regardless of what size you're doing. So sew these together either side of that line, so you're making 2 half square triangles out of these 2 pieces. Make sure they're completely level. You can always pin it or clip it. I've got my regular 1/4 inch foot, I'm on a 2.5 stitch. Right, so you've got that. We don't do them for in a minute. Let's sew the rest together. Well, we've got the machine at the front here. You take your 2 long ones, right size together, and just sew them both together. Right, push your machine out the way. Now we're going to subcut these, but first thing we're going to do now is press them. No need to starch, already got starch in. So while I'm waiting for the iron to heat up and press the other bit, we're going to cut these right down the middle on the, let's just pick you up to show you, right down on the pencil line made. So we're making 2 half square triangles. That's 1 and that's 2, and then when you press these open, press to the darker one. So obviously my red's the darker one, so put the red on top and then finger press. Now these are, if you're a beginner, these are biased, so don't force them, don't push them with the iron, just gently press them over, fold them back I should say, with the fingers till you get them to the ironing board, then you just press. I shall stretch them because it's on the biased. Right, they're all pressed flat. With these one you need to take the dog ears off. They should be the right measurement that you need, and obviously because this is your centre, they should be the same size as your centre, and that's how you know whether you've got it right or not. You could also, if you didn't want to use scissors, just use this and do it this way. So they're ready. There's my centre of those 4 ready on the machine, and then we have to subcut these. Again, they have to be the same as you can see. Whatever size you're doing, they have to be the same as your centre, and you need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they have to be the same size. So if you remember what your size is, this one is 3 inches, which is what these are. So subcut them to 3 inches, and you want 4. 3, just look, that was lucky. And then obviously any scraps you got left over you put into your bag, and you can use that for another one another time. So there's my 4. So if you lie it down in front of you, it should look like this. Put all these in your corners, that on the inside, corner, all your colour facing your corner like this, and then these facing the front, and that's how you sew them. You sew them like you would a 9 patch, which them three, those three, and then together. Obviously then you have to be careful which way you put your seams. So once you've got them laid out in a pattern, start at the top and put those two together. Again, you can use pins or clips, making sure that if you've got a slight difference between, obviously the center towards the inside of the block is the one where you want level. Mine's mine's right, but if there was a difference, I'd make sure that the inside was meeting. Right, just take the next two down. So you're doing the first two and the next two. And then the next two. So which way does it want to lie? So we do those out. So what you're doing with these first two is pressing them towards the outside. So therefore this one you'll press towards the black, and again the bottom one you'll press towards the outside that way. Then you do the next one. And then this, the same as that one. And then you press them the same way as you did the others. So that's the top one is going on towards that way, the outside. The middle one is going towards the black, and the bottom one is going towards the outside. Then when you put them together, you'll see that they're going the opposite way for you to nest together, just like that. Anyway, start this one right at the end. You should have the right amount of fabric to start from the end. And then make sure that you're nesting them together. Right, so once you've got to that stage, if you're not happy with your points, then undo it and do it again. Undo that side and do it again. It sort of depends what you want out your quilt. And then press. So there's my three. That's the one we've just made together. Keep in mind whatever size these are all correspond with the size that you started off with your centre. So obviously then this was the 3 inch, they'll be 3 inch. They'll end up 3 inch once you've cut them, etc, etc. They're my colours. Tim's are already done, and that's the first block. That's called a churn dash.